Well, 10 months before immigration officers shot and killed Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minneapolis, an ICE agent killed 23-year-old American citizen Ruben Ray Martinez. But ICE's involvement was only recently disclosed. And like in the cases of Good and Preddy, witnesses dispute the official account of what unfolded. In a CBS News exclusive, immigration correspondent Camilo Montoya Galvez sat down with Martinez's mother for her first television interview.
Everything was good. I just don't understand why it had to be this way.
Rachel Reyes' son, 23-year-old American citizen Ruben Ray Martinez, was killed by an ICE agent nearly 1 year ago.
I was devastated and in disbelief. And it's bad enough to lose your child, but then to lose your child at the hands of law enforcement when they're supposed to be the ones to protect your child.
ICE's involvement in Martinez's killing in March of 2025 was only publicly revealed in February, roughly 11 months later. Martinez was out celebrating his birthday with his best friend Joshua Orta in South Padre Island. ICE says one of its agents fired defensive shots into Martinez's vehicle after Martinez intentionally ran over another ICE agent.
Is that something you think your son would have done?
Absolutely not. No, of course not. He was not a violent person. He was not aggressive.
DHS's account was disputed by Orta, who said in a draft declaration that his friend did not hit anyone. Orta died in a car crash in February, before he could testify. The Texas Department of Public Safety told CBS News it completed its investigation into Martinez's killing, saying it would release the records related to the case on Friday. Last month, a grand jury rejected criminal charges related to the shooting. Charles Stamm is representing Martinez's family.
In a recent statement, your team said that a toxicology screen detected alcohol and marijuana in Ruben's system. Do you know whether Ruben was intoxicated when he was shot, and could that have played a role in what happened?
He was never stopped on suspicion of public intoxication or driving under the influence or anything of that nature. It's important to bear in mind that when Ruben lost his life, his car was in park, and right after those 3 bullets came through the window and went into his chest from that ICE officer, Mr. Orta's statement said that he said, "I'm sorry, sir," as his last words. This was not someone who posed a threat.
Reyes says she has deep respect for law enforcement. She also supported President Trump in the 2024 election, but she says change is desperately needed.
I don't blame President Trump for the death of my son because he wasn't the one who pulled the trigger, but I do think that something needs to be changed in that department as far as the pattern of violence or abuse and impunity. Based on the statement that they made, seeing how the words that they chose to put out there about my son, that's as insult to injury.
Reyes says she does not want other families to experience her pain.
What do you miss the most about Ruben?
Just his presence, just him being there, and I'm sad because I'm never going to see his children or, like the hopes and the dreams that he had. He was enthusiastically looking forward to, that it was just taken from us. And I feel it was preventable.
Camilo Montoya Galvez, CBS News.
Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Waha, Ruha Kwadash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect go to our apostles, bishops, elders, and teachers, the men of Great Millstone. To you I say Shalom. Salutations to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Amraya. Unfortunately, under the weather today, all right, have been for about a month now, all right. Trying to get better, all right. So if you want to send up a prayer for me, I'll be all right with that. But this is going to be a quick hit through the Spirit. What you have here is Northern Kingdom Jake, all right? Some portion of the Northern Kingdom I perceive, who is a Donald Duck supporter who has her son unalived by ICE after voting for Donald Duck, all right? And still supports the regime because this is an epidemic, especially in the area where I live. You have a lot of Northern Kingdom that identify as so-called white, all right, through idolatries and Stockholm syndrome, etc. All right, and they've come to hate their own neighbor, their own kinsmen. All right, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Native Americans, and the so-called Latinos are all Hebrew Israelites. All right. Now, this is scriptural. What happened here is essentially what's going to happen to a lot of Northern Kingdom Jakes that refuse, all right, to hearken onto the words of the Lord, to identify as an Israelite, come back to their true heritage, all right, if they are in fact of the house of Israel, because you have a lot of tares in Israel, Northern and Southern Kingdom. But this is Hosea chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, "Rejoice not, O Israel, for joy as other people, for thou hast gone a whoring from thy power. Thou hast loved a reward upon every corn floor." Right? All right. They beat this Christianity crap into you, this white Jeebus. All right. But you just can't separate from it now. You're addicted to the love of it. All right. It allows you to be a whore. You don't have to follow any rules, laws, statutes, or commandments. You're free to do as you will. A very satanic rule. Verse 2, "The floor and the winepress shall not feed them, and the new wine shall fail in her." Right? All right. This new wine is failing in her. They are not converting the way they should. That's why 2/3 of the nation of Israel will be cut off. All right. On this side, they will have to come back on the other side in their right minds through the loins of the elect. All right. It's sad, but it's coming. All right. And this is not just the Northern Kingdom. You have the Southern Kingdom. They refuse to partake of the new wine. All right. Which is old wine, really. The old pathways. All right. Back to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Those are the names of the true power, whom you ignorantly call God, and Jesus. Yahweh is whom you ignorantly call God. Yahweh Shai is whom you ignorantly call Jesus. All right. I'm going to skip down for time's sake. Make this plain upon tables. Now, Ephraim is synonymous with the Northern Kingdom. These are the 10 lost tribes of Israel. Okay. And they are manifested through a series. And I'm going to just name them off real quick so that we don't have any misconceptions about what is on the list. All right. But you have, I said 10 tribes. There's 9 tribes. All right. Salakia for that. Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh. Ephraim is the head of all of the Northern Kingdom. All right. Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Yeshashkar or Issachar, which are the so-called Mexicans. All right. All of these people named on these lists consist of the Northern Kingdom. These range from Dominicans, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, Panamanians, Cubans, Indigenous Americans, Seminole Indians, Argentinians, Chileans, Colombians, Uruguayans, etc. And confusion of faces, because Israel has been scattered throughout all of the earth. But Ephraim, again, is the head tribe of the Northern Kingdom. So think about it as a people before the place, right? Well, Ephraim encompasses the Northern Kingdom in this sense. And this is what it says. Verse 8, "The watchman of Ephraim was with my power, but the prophet is a snare of a fowler in all his ways, and hatred in the house of his power. They have deeply corrupted themselves in the days of Gibeah. Therefore he will remember their iniquity. He will visit their sins. I found Israel like grapes in the wilderness," right? "I saw your fathers as the first stripe in the fig tree at her first time, but they went to Baal Peor and separated themselves unto that shame, and their abominations were according as they loved," right? To this day. All right. And there's a line being drawn in the sand. We're at the last seconds of these days, and people refuse to hearken. This wine is not for them. They reject it at all points, and therefore they will be rejected. And that goes for you. If you are not a child of Israel, repentant child of Israel, it doesn't look good for you. The Lord ain't coming back to save Mexicans and Uruguayans and black people. All right. He's coming back to save his children. All right. Who have made a covenant with him by sacrifice. Verse 10 again. I found Israel like grapes in the wilderness. I saw your fathers as the first stripe in the fig tree at her first time. But they went to Baal Peor, separated themselves onto that shame, and their abominations were according as they loved. As for Ephraim, their glory shall fly away like a bird from the birth and from the womb and from the conception, though they bring up their children. And yes, the northern kingdom love their children for the most part now. All right. I see it every day. They put their all into their children. Verse 12 again. Though they bring up their children, yet will I bereave them, that there shall not be a man left. Yea, woe also to them when I depart from them. Ephraim, I saw Tyrus is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. And this is what you see over and over again. All right. The so-called self-proclaimed white man is the biblical nation of Esau, Edom, the Idumeans. All right. And they cannot stand Israelites. We are mortal enemies. And you Israelites are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians for the most part. They will hate you forever, forever, forever. Their hatred will never go away. And you are handing your children over by co-signing the white supremacy, by pretending that you are a so-called white person, all right? Not understanding that you're in the trick bag because you will never be accepted. Because of your lineage, you will always have mortal enemies. You have brought forth your children directly to the murderer, Esau, Edom. Repent or die. Shalom.